What is up, YouTube Nation? This is Havoc the Emo the Collector Fiend that runs this zine, and today we got something small. I mean, I guess it's not necessarily too special, but it's a little special for me. I waited for a little bit, and so yay! I was actually in the middle of editing a video because I know it's been a while. In case I post this video before I post the other one, I don't know which one is going to get done first. I've been lifing this YouTube channel's account been hacked, so I had to get back to my email. I had to move, had to get a new recording device, yada 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 yada. It's been a lot. My video I was working on was a Spider-Man Brand New Day movie breakdown / theory video based off the commercial and the comics it kind of hinted at in said commercial or trailer. And yeah, then I got a figure in the mail, a figure I've been waiting on forever because BBTS pre-order just took a little longer this time, but I am so happy to finally receive it, even though almost everyone else probably already has them. But for those who might still be waiting, or those who have it but still just like watching videos and reviews on figures, we are going to go and bring in the one, the only SS86 Leader Cast Megatron. I don't know what that voice was. No idea. Anyway, we got Megatron looking very Megatron-y. I know people are already going to start complaining about this right here, but let's look past that for now. Yes, he looks quite good. Nice detail. I'm using flashlight on my camera, so there might be some gleam there, but the lighting in here currently sucks, and I'm still trying to figure out recording area, as my other video stated, if I post that one first. But looks quite nice. Yes, he's a tank. He was a gun in the movie, yes, but Hasbro, we have very strict toy gun laws. They cannot make a gun. They cannot make a toy gun that looks like a gun, and there's no point in making a really fake, generic looking gun. Like the way guns look nowadays. That's why Nerf has even been getting more into that fantasy realm of guns, because of just how guns are looking today. It's a lot easier to pass it off as a tank than it is to make a gun. And honestly, he's been a tank way longer than he's been a gun at this point. He's been a jet probably longer than he's been a gun. So I'm pretty used to it by now. So yeah, it looks nice. But for those who still don't like the fact that he was a tank, it's okay. His accessories came in very good. First one, pretty nice. You have the little Energon dagger, the Energon blade he used to cut open Megatron, or what did my brain just do? Cut open Optimus. Has a nice metallic paint on it. I know there's a BBTS is doing an upgrade kit that has a bunch of other stuff. I'll kind of get into that a little bit later. But yeah, he has the Energon dagger, which is nice. And then he has this, which is awesome. I honestly, this was kind of the route I was hoping they'd go with, because he is technically, it's 86 accurate because he can be held by your other Decepticons. It is not 100% accurate to his alt mode, but people need to remember that the Walter P38 is a licensed product and owned by Walter. So if they wanted to pull off that look, they would have had to get an elite licensing agreement with Walter and probably pay for it, even at something this small. And so they just kind of went with a more of a generic looking Energon, Cybertronian gun, gave it the barrel. So from a distance, you know, like we already know it's Megatron. From a distance, it doesn't really bother you too much. So he still has the gun mode. It's not one that you can hold in your hand. I know a lot of people want that. Third party, unfortunately, but still technically they pull off the 86 gun mode because you still in a way get it as an accessory, which I personally I thought that's nice. Would I like one that turns into a gun that I can hold? Yes, but in terms of I like to do stop motions, this is something that's a lot more easier or feasible for me to use. In a stop motion, if I want to use him just as a gun, all I have to do is just kind of like start transforming him in the air and then cut it for him to turn into a gun, you know. Little editing. But that's his accessories. So, you got some options. Options are good. Technically, you could have him in his robot and vehicle mode at the same time and not even have to buy two of them. That's awesome. But yes, more into the tank mode. Tank looks great. It has rotation at the turret. Has a little bit of lift. If you lift it a little too much, it starts kind of taking things up a little bit, but nothing too bad. The details are quite nice. A little bit of robotical junk going on, but like if you're not an experienced Transformer collector, you wouldn't really know what you're looking at here. So for like newer collectors, this would definitely be cool. And this was quite a fun transformation. For those who like to figure things out without instructions. I'm curious how long it took you to transform this one without using the instructions. It took me maybe about 10 to 12 minutes. I was watching Bob's Burgers and only got to like halfway through the episode before I transformed to a tank. So probably around 10 to 12 minutes. Quite fun engineering. It is quite sleek. The bottom is very clean. There's almost no kibble hanging off. It has a rolling wheel here, rolling wheels here, so it does roll quite well. No problem there. I do have Megatronus out here. For a comparison, I don't have. I might bring out another comparison. If I have one. If not, Megatronus. I still have. Some of my things are still in storage, so we're just going to stick with Megatronus. We'll just do that. His namesake. In tank mode, Megatronus is significantly a bigger tank. Obviously, more stylized for the Cybertronian. This like Cybertronian-esque tank. Versus this being more inspired by a Earth-esque tank. But yeah, came off to the side. Storage for these. You got your 5mm port. You plug it in here. It's on the sides of the tank, on the top of the tank. You know, you can do that. You can do that. I don't think there's a way to store it underneath. Kind of a bummer, but yeah, you can do that. You could put this one on the top and storage. Hooray for storage. But that is basically all there is for the tank. Get back into the rating. For a tank, out of 5 stars, based just on the tank mode. Functionality, it works. You know, the wheels slide pretty well. There's nothing dragging on it. You have full rotation of the turret plus movement. It could take off that part, but it doesn't. It's not too bad. It's not. If I have to be nitpicky, because that it takes this up when you want to move it up, it destroys the illusion a little bit. So if I was nitpicking it, I'd probably take away some points for that. But everything, the engineering, everything works really well. I'm going to give this, I'm going to say 4. I'm going to say maybe 4.5. I'm going to say 4. Just because I'm going to nitpick it. For one, I'm just going to nitpick the fact that this, when you pull this up, it kind of disrupts it a little bit. and the barrel itself doesn't really look like an accurate tank. It looks like a tank barrel, but then you get here and get here. So looking at the nitpicking side of things, because you can't really lift it without disrupting the illusion, and because this doesn't look the cleanest, I'm gonna give this a 4 out of 5 star for the vehicle mode. But it's still quite fun. It is quite functional, and it does have the 5mm port, so you can put in the blast effects if you wish. All in all, it is quite a good little tank, but no one cares about the tank. No one bought this because of the tank. They bought because it's one Megatron. So, without further ado, let's get this transformation through. Alright, and here we have it. My Megatron. Megatron in all of his glory. Lord Megatron, who brings peace through tyranny. Looking absolutely fantastic. Looking at all the little details that we have to offer here. Quite nice. Very clean. Very clean. No really hollow gaps. Yes, this is, I guess, a little dirty, but for the most part, it's cleaner than most. Very nice. Obviously, we need a little bit more, and so we got to bring in his fusion cannon and bring that down. And now we have that. We could plug it in and finish the full look of our 86 Megatron. Looking fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Gosh, just superb. I have to go get my 86 Optimus out of storage now. Like, I don't care if all my other figures are in storage. If I could have my 86 Megatron and 86 Optimus just out for the time being, I would be happy. These, like, I cannot wait to have them next to each other. Like, Megatron looks absolutely fantastic. He got the accuracy, he got the stability, he got the look. Like, he has the way they pulled off the legs, which was very impressive for the design and stuff to be pulled off the way it is, with even giving it a little bit of that gun handle Texturing down the side of his leg there is fantastic. I'm not sure what that comes off with that light gleaming on it. He even has the ventilation on the side of his abs, like all the little, like the every minute detail. Oh, I forgot to put one of his flaps and pull that over to the side. But it looks fantastic. And of course, we got to get in on that head sculpt. Looking quite good. I hope the light isn't making it come across too bright. But it is quite nice. We also, I guess, forget this little barrel thing. You could have him hold it as a gun. You could do whatever, but you know, per usual, this plugs on his back to give him like the barrel look as he has. So now technically we have the full look of 86 Megatron, looking fantastic. The posability is amazing. He has the ball joint. It's a little wiggly wobbly because just the old Buckethead himself can't really do a whole lot, but it is movable. He can look side to side and do a little bit of movement. Full rotation on his arm, in, out, over 90 degrees of elbow bend. Full rotation at the hand. First two fingers are one piece. Bottom three fingers are separate piece, but hinge at the tip of the fingers, the base, and in the middle. Typical hand status. And then you have a butterfly joint as well. That's slightly due to the transformation, but it also doubles as the butterfly joint, making it quite a nice way that the engineering worked out. Full rotation at the wrist, 90-degree bend. You could do the full split at the hips. Little bit more than 90-degree high kick. Go all the way back. Could bend the knees a little past 90 degrees. And ankle tiltage, so you can get him in some pretty good action poses here. Looking fantastic as he should. Let's just get him into some generic poses there. Something along this line. Very cool. Can he do the high kicks? I think he can. I haven't ever tried to do a high kick on a platform that I am holding, and this is even a platform. It is a drawing book, but I think I can get it to work. Let's just get on the surface of the table here. Oh yeah. I'll do some. Just let me take this. Oh. And he could do the full-on high kick. Give it the pretty stable. I got to give that a good tap to knock that over. Oh, I don't know how this is gonna go. Sorry if I messed up the camera angle there. Hopefully not. But yeah, that's quite good posability, quite good looking. I'll try to put a comparison to his G1 design right here, his animation design, and see that they are quite accurate to the little details. when it comes to his weapons or his accessories, he can hold it. You can give him the blade. It's not something that you can slide through his hands because of the way it is designed. You do kind of have to just push it in there, which I'm not always a fan of, but it doesn't seem like there's too much pressure keeping it from going in, so I'm not too worried about it. So you give him his Energon dagger, his Energon blade, his lightsaber, his whatever you want to call it. Looks quite good. And then you can give him himself. He could be shooting himself. Yep. Shooting rounds off himself. Yeah. And then when it comes to storage, there's a little tab on the scope of this gun that will go into his back right there, right next to the barrel. So that plugs in right there. And you can take the little blade and you can plug it into this port on his back right there. And boom, you have everything stored on his back. Looks quite clean. Fantastico. Put this right here. And let's compare them real quick to Megatronus. As you see, they are practically the same size. They're basically head to head. Megatron is a little skinnier than his namesake, Mr. Beefy Maximus here. Freaking yeah, looks fantastic. Together at least. And yeah, fantastico. Now obviously there is, I think the one thing that's the least inaccurate is maybe his cannon. His cannon looks a little off. It's not too bad. I understand that this was an engineering design. And I know DNA Designs is putting out an upgrade kit that has a more accurate cannon, and this cannon also, because the 8mm is so, you probably have maybe like half a centimeter deep before the actual post is there. It makes it really hard to really give it any blast effects. You need kind of like long, skinnier ones to do so, but you don't look like the big, powerful ones you might want to add, or almost a no-go. But he is quite good. I won't hold the gun too much against it. It must be a engineering thing, or something. I don't know. Maybe it is accurate, and I'm just looking at it weird. But overall, I think it's back down to rating it. So 5-star, out of 5 stars for robot mode. And honestly, it's accurate. It's stable. Like, it doesn't flop around. It has, like, there's no hollow points in it. It's very good amount of plastic usage. The engineering is very nice. Like, these are a little annoying to deal with. They are a little annoying. I feel like maybe I'm doing something wrong, because again, I did not use the instructions for this. I just know that they go in there, but maybe there's a better way I could squeeze them in there during transformation that isn't going to be much of a hassle, that I just haven't figured out yet. So I'm not going to give it a bad grade off that, because all in all, that engineering is quite nice, and it does fill out the side without giving it any hollow gaps. So I am going to give this a 5-star robot mode. I think it looks great. Not everyone is going to agree, but when I'm looking at it, it has the paint decos it should have. It has very good plastic use. There again, no gaps, no hollow spaces. Like the only hollow space is like right here, where it taps into the mushroom peg. But really, it's not. And I guess right here on his underarm, but very like you would almost not tell. So plastic use is very nice. Paint use is very nice. Engineering is very nice. Posability is very nice. It's sturdy. It's steady. It could do high kicks. It holds up on a shelf. Very nice solid piece of plastic. Like you see how much I had to shake it for that leg to move. I'm gonna have to give it a 5-star. When it comes to look, when it comes to engineering, when it comes to paint, it has it, and it looks quite nice. It definitely, this is where it shines. But I guess if I really wanted to be nitpicky, I could remove points for the cannon. But when you look at it, you know it's the fusion cannon. It might be a little bit off, like maybe this should be shrunken down a little bit more because of this gap. But this gap allows it to have a transformation. This gap doesn't take away from the fact that it is a fusion cannon. I have such a nice figure like this. The cannon shouldn't be what takes away from it. So I am going to give it a 5-star. I would accept if someone says it's a 4 out of 5 because of the cannon. But for me, I'm going to do a 5-star. So 5-star robot mode, 4-star vehicle mode, giving this a 9 out of 10 star toy. Great action figure. It's been great. It's been such a journey to wait for this because, man, I had to pre-order this a few months ago, almost a year ago. Beast 3 Tyranny. I think this is great. I'm gonna stop rambling on. This is probably gonna be the end of the video. So, with all that being said and nothing more to talk about, this Havoc Emo saying, remember, there's nothing wrong with being a geek. As long as you're feeling free, you're feeling you, do what you want to do. Do what you can do. It's your life, it's your money. Don't let anyone tell you you're too old to play, collect, or have fun. Until next time, everyone, annihilate the weak.